What's up guys, Aoshi here, and today's commentary video is on Avengers Freedom Gundam Endeavor, Adventure, whatever you want to call it. Mostly because I know a lot of you guys have already been looking at it already as sort of a means of figuring out the inner secrets of this brand new alternate universe suit that just recently dropped for the PC Steam version of Gundam Battle Operation 2. But as a disclaimer, I just want to be sure that this is not meant to shame anybody, and in this case for Avengers video we already know it's going to be pretty top-notch gameplay with, you know, human mistakes of course, and you know, the reputation that goes behind that as well. But this is more so in line with kind of just breaking it down and giving my opinions and impressions of the new suit, because unfortunately I did try to pull for it, and unless you're willing to sell your soul for another platform, the gacha was not very favorable to me. But that's okay. We actually get a chance to kind of check it out here in sort of a pseudo sense, just because the nice thing about some of the videos that he does upload in this case is we do get to see a setup. Now, just to kind of TLDR, the Freedom Gundam has some decent specs. It doesn't seem like it has anything super crazy, but I would say it is strong enough to put up a fight in the ecosystem that is currently 700, especially with the Rosen Zulu being on the field and everything. Now, of course, the big key of learning the suit is dealing with the high mat mode, which we'll probably look into shortly, because I do believe in the 2 rounds that he is playing, he is kind of still figuring stuff out. And these are just highlights too, so these aren't like literally from the first time actually trying it out, which can happen. But because of the way that the Freedom Gundam moves, we could kind of see the setup that he's kind of chosen and kind of worked out. I would say kind of par beam resistance with about 40s, mid 40s, with a little bit of HP. This suit has some really excellent mid-range capabilities, especially for the fact that you basically have 3 range options. You do have Vulcan's kind of standard, and they're kind of supplementary while you're waiting for everything else to cool down and repositioning. But this is a 2 melee suit, so you would think in certain cases that you might want to throw in some melee strength. This doesn't seem to be the case, just because if you have time to combo off of that, you're going to be, you're going to get that damage nonetheless. But the suit has a lot of different range options or mid-lining options, so I think that's kind of the decision that he made in setting this up this way. Granted, it would be nice to throw in some melee resistance, but I think because you kind of want to be a little more conservative, and not conservative in attacking, but more open to kind of reading the situation if it's safe to gamble and get into that thick of things with the melee or not. I mean, again, at the same time, because this has so many different range options, kind of makes sense to kind of midline a little bit and then swing as needed. So without further ado, we'll get into this shortly, but don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Definitely helps out this channel as we try to approach that 1,000 subscriber mark. And this will be different because we did do a VOD version of this before on Twitch. Unfortunately, I did have some technical issues with the audio, so we're recording this again, pre-recorded for those of you guys, and you know, let's just get into it. Hopefully we won't get hit by too many commercials at this point, but you know, unfortunately YouTube is the way it is. And I love that Strike Rouge colors there, works so well. So it does kind of make me interested to see if we're going to get some more seed suits in there. I did mention maybe we can get some Leos, just because it would be kind of funny to see that at 300 costs, dealing with the, you know, level 5 Zaku's and what is it, GMs and stuff. So this is Colony Drop. Immediately he's already working that midline option there, and the enemy team's already used to doing that whole NASCAR deal, which is great, especially when you're kind of spawned in a weird way for Colony Drop. Anybody that's played that map is pretty familiar with that. It is kind of odd and weird, but the reason for doing that whole NASCAR deal, that whole boosting around, is to really catch the other team off guard, try to see that separation. And if you look at the bottom part of that mini map there, you do see the raid trying to flank around, but unfortunately the team gets holed up in that narrow area. Honestly, there is enough cover to kind of spread out and push forward, but the other team's playing very kind of conservative, and unfortunately he gets caught on the corner from that Banshee, but unfortunately it's now a 2v1 situation for that raid, so he's gonna get dropped down to about less than half HP, and I see him dying in about the next 15 seconds, if anything, because he's now trying to run away, use iframes with Avenger in pursuit. And yeah, he's literally down to his last quarter health, and yeah, he's pretty much donezo. So he's gonna try to ride out those iframes, buy some time. Avenger's gonna finish him off though, just like that. And then we have the support there, literally not even bothering to like reposition. He's just in a bad spot, pincered there, and Avenger gets some quick hits there. Pretty much slayed him there, and I think there's 3 enemies left with Avengers 2, but they're mostly hurt pretty bad, so it's about approximately even. But look at that mid-range, like I said, just a lot of different range tools just to kind of keep people at bay, constant barraging. Not a lot of people like to flank around very much in their IMAT mode. So a lot of verticality capability with the Freedom there. I think they're good stuns, playing that quarter there, following up, just anything to just chunk on damage, because as soon as the Banshee goes into NTD mode, it repairs those limbs there. So repositioning, getting those opportunities there, free hits, nobody's looking at him. Another kill, so 3 kills, 4 kills so far. No, yep, 3 kills so far. That one technically should be the 4th, but he fell down and got iframes. I still believe, based on what I'm seeing so far, this would pair very well, like you see with the funnels there with the high new. This thing just chunks. Yeah, poor DJ's already getting wrecked right now. That's like a 3-4v1 there. And that's why, like, depending on the cost range, you don't want to be right up on somebody, but at the same time, you want to be close enough that if you do get in trouble, that you can get some help. I think that's the raid coming back again. He's ducking and back into the truck. Yep, that was the raid. And there are singles spawning from the spawn there. Another Freedom there. I do like the swings there. This is one of those suits where, like, having a little bit of melee couldn't help, but I think it's down to, like, personal... Yeah, I think it's down to personal preference, really, at the same time, as far as getting the, you know, setting certain things up. But I would say definitely looking at how a suit is composition-wise, with the weapon loadout and your skills paired in one. I think that's what really makes it stand out the best. And if you guys are wondering why there's weird cuts going on, it's unfortunate that that I am watching this, but YouTube liking to interject certain ads in place there. So I apologize as we are commenting throughout this match. This is just the first match, first death. Already another kill. And then, man, it's just crazy the amount of midline power. Like, he doesn't even really have to rush in as much. Like, it does have MA, but like, you have so many different things to kind of just pew pew and then decide if you want to push forward, push back, or just pull them back in, let your teammates help you out. Just so many different things. And it doesn't seem like it has an issue turning very well either. Like, the turning speed on the Freedom seems pretty snappy. Like, just being able to move around. Yeah, see, it just feels so easy. Granted, the playing experience for, like, say something like Avenger is a lot different. He's probably put many hours already, and just playing that corner 1v2 situation there. Yeah, you pretty much treat high mat almost kind of like how you treat Exam or Hades or even like NTD for that matter, just because it does open up the options for you. Unfortunately, it doesn't repair your limbs, so you kind of have to, I don't know, have that sort of, not really innate ability, but have a good awareness of when to efficiently pop it up, especially when you're playing on, say, something not like Colony Drop, where there's a lot of different openings to the different levels on the map. And it looks like, yeah, that DJ kind of just trade off quite a bit. Luckily, having that amount of buffers, I think, on the wings kind of saved Avenger a little bit, because it's pretty much down to like half leg HP, a little bit to the head, which is okay. If he loses his head slot, it's pretty much a damage penalty. But dang, just scoring hits on that Stein there just makes it look so cool. All right, minute to go. His team's got quite a bit of a lead there. Vulcans aren't too bad, but they do have a really nice rate of fire. I do know a lot of people that were commenting good about the Freedom's Vulcans. So they're great, especially in a quick pinch. He probably really needs to get positioned inside, because that friendly fire is going to happen if he doesn't, and score another kill that Stein couldn't get anywhere. So double beam cannons can't be used. I wonder if it's a drawback of having the high new funnels up. That might be the case. So it does luck out on some of the weapon capability, which is good and bad, I guess. And then the BR is heat rated, so like it's not like a something that you can reload. That poor Banshee is not able to play very much. So yeah, the other team looks like they're running double raids there. That is pretty crazy. Just good damage overall. Very textbook, I would almost say at this point. But like, just seeing that, it does look like a lot of fun. As somebody that really enjoys more UC oriented suits, I would definitely say that it's pretty clear that this suit has some potential for sure, and especially if they do decide bringing that into console as well. So here's the second rounds, round 2. Already leading with the double beam cannons. So very Unit 4 BST type of shenanigans there, and the quick stuns. So it's weird. So like, this is like a jack of all trades almost. It's like, it is a general, but it's like it's got pseudo support options. That midline power is very strong, but I don't know how it's going to compare to, say, something like the regular new, because that's going to get a buff. But they haven't been implemented. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to implement that at all. That DJ just stun after stun. And that's the thing too, a suit that has a lot of mid-range capability like that, you're able to like literally just set up a stun, follow another stun, and then you follow up with another like DPS combo or something and just chonk stuff out. That is crazy. And that downswing's got a lot of reach too. I know a lot of people say it's the S Gundam, but it just reminds me of so much like the Jetta. And I don't even think the high new buffs got to PC yet as well, even with the Rosen Zulu update. But I'd have to double check my notes and the monthly unit adjustments thread. Man, it definitely looks a lot of fun there. Makes me excited for any of the AOZ suits that come out down the road. A lot of them do probably fit the 650, 700 range. I just want some love for some of the other Hazel units, just because 500 as it stands right now is pretty complex. Just, oh man. It's definitely getting those railguns and everything. Man, everybody's just trying to get into the action. Like literally 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, we're already at 4K up. It is literally a light show. Anytime I see seed units, it's literally like a light show. Him picking a fight with the Foz, same with the other suit, and I mean like the actual full armor double Zeta, not the Foz test unit. Man. I know some people are going to say this is easily going to be one of like the newer metas for this suit, but I'm like, you do have other units to kind of complement it. One of the big drawbacks of the Freedom, as you saw, is that it does have lower melee resistances, so if you got something that hits pretty hard, like Hainu can be built that way, it's gonna wreck things. And that's unfortunate. He was gonna try to catch that full armored double Zeta off that, and that full shooting seems pretty nice. I wonder if that's only engageable in high mat, and that's the hard part too, is like, since I don't actually have this suit, it makes it hard to kind of like really fully understand what it's able to do, other than just watching stuff. That's kind of what we're doing here, and just seeing it in action is just, it's crazy. It's crazy, but the main thing is it is a fun suit that's very capable for 700. And I think on the VOD I did say I do anticipate them adjusting this somehow. It doesn't need a nerf, but I do feel like they are probably going to adjust it sometime, just because to kind of keep in line with everything else that's there. I don't think it's super like OP, but it might need some things that are tweaked. Alright, 3 minutes to go, or less than, a little over 3 minutes, and man, just seeing the combos melee-wise, even though it's not really predominantly a melee suit, it looks like it's so much fun. The funny thing about the Irradiate is it is like the G04 BST. It just doesn't have stun buildup really, at least to my knowledge. It's not enough to like keep somebody in check, but man, just that combo, nobody is safe. Damn, just the chonk damage. Literally running 60 plus on the Freedom, I think, is the way to go. Hell, I want to see if you can get away with just 50, so that way you can kind of make up for it in melee. But at the same time, it's like every engagement that we're seeing with Avenger running the suit, he doesn't needlessly need to go into melee. I think you probably could make a setup for that, but it's just like just getting those hits in safely without putting too much risk. It's crazy. But I mean, luckily his teammates have been pretty accommodating, because it's just like if you get those random comps where people aren't like holding up necessarily, it makes it very hard to kind of like play defensively like this. And the fact that you can charge those double beam cannons on the move, that is crazy. Which reminds me that, maybe the White Dingo Sniper 2 needs the charging back for the large beam rifle. I do feel like a lot of the older suits need a little bit of love. It would be fun to kind of be able to run those again, because I do feel like the parts aren't enough to really make it worthwhile. And last minute 20 left. I think the other team's slowly starting to catch back. They are still putting up a good fight so far, so you gotta give them props for that. And so far, like, even the previous match and then this one here, the tools that the Freedom allow you to run with, you don't have to worry about overextending, because a lot of the weapons just, they overlap so well, and they're close enough that you don't have to worry about having to move to the target to make sure that they're effective. And that's kind of like the thing about this map too, is everything's all close up, as I mentioned before, so it doesn't require you to have to be like within 200 meters in game distances to be effective. Because he has used his Vulcans quite a bit, but all his bread and butter for the Freedoms so far has been just the beam rifle, the cannons, everything else. If he's up close like that, he's going in for the downswing, just doing as much damage as he can, catching people off the corners there, and it's just nuts. It is just nuts. Like, I think he only died like twice in the first round there. That is crazy sauce. Yeah, this is a very strong suit. Definitely a lot of fun too. Granted, 238 is a bit much. So yeah, it is a fresh account. Honestly, you know, there's a lot to be said about that, but at the same time, we're kind of more judging the suit than anything else. I think it's pretty clear in the right hands and in a maybe a clan match setting that this is definitely something that I think fits well with GBO2, even though like when you think of GBO2, it's predominantly and always been universal sentry suits until now. So I think for the future of GBO2 in general, this is not just thinking about PC Steam. I think, you know, just to kind of interject something really quick, that, you know, I think maybe in the long run, we'll probably start seeing some alternate universe suits. If they can do a good job as any with a, you know, flagship 700 seed suit like this, and we haven't even gotten to the strike stuff yet, strike suits, like the Strike Freedom, which is like the next iteration, and then you got all the Freedom new iterations because of the movie that's coming out. I think that's I think it might be an interesting day for anybody that loves GBO2 as much as it can be, even though sometimes the salt take over. So with that said, that concludes our video commentary on the Freedom Gundam by Avenger. I will include the link for the original video so that way you can kind of watch on your own time, and you know, if you want to use that to study, I think that's definitely a good place to start, especially if you want to perfect it. At the same time, like, understand that his playtime and his style differs a lot compared to everybody else, including myself as well. So you kind of have to take things with a grain of salt and kind of understand a lot of the different situations you might find yourself in while running that. As I mentioned before in one of the rounds, you might be unlucky, and especially if you're solo queuing, like I do 90% of the time, you might be just unlucky where people just lose the will to fight and play, and maybe they just want to just be overall stinkers at the game. It just sucks. Sometimes it happens that way. So sometimes you just have to reset and, you know, find out what works, what doesn't work. So if you guys enjoyed this video, like I said, please don't hesitate to hit that like and subscribe button. We are trying to claw our way to the 1,000 mark. Hopefully I'll get to that point, hopefully before March or so. But let me know what you guys think. If you like the suit, if you hate it, anything in between, I definitely check them out. I may not necessarily be able to respond to all those comments about this suit, and maybe if there's some gameplay video you guys want me to check out in general. I think anybody that wants some pointers and everything, I think they definitely do deserve. This game is so complex that there's no handbook, there's no master guide on how to perfect that. And that's something that anybody in their right mind that wants to get better at this game has to kind of embark on themselves. And that's why I started the whole pilot mindset. It is a more mental game than anything else, and I know when I don't do very well with that it's just I need a mental reset with this game, especially GBO2. So that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourselves, and I will see you guys all on the next video. Take care.